A Christmas Carol, 2009. The complete story, characters, themes, and everything you need to know. A full and detailed words written in essay, clear language. Introduction. What is this movie? A Christmas Carol is a movie that came out in the year 2009. It was made by a company called Which Disney Pictures. The man who made the movie, meaning the director, is Robert Zemeckis. He is also the same man who made famous movies like Forrest Jump and the Back to the Future series. This movie is based on a very old and very famous story that was written by a British writer named Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens wrote the original story way back in the year 1843, which is more than 150 years ago. Even though the story is that old, people still love it very much today, and it has been made into movies, plays, and television shows many times over the years. The 2009 movie is special because it uses a style of movie making called motion capture, which is sometimes called mocap for short. This means that real actors wore special suits with small dots on them. Cameras then recorded how the actors moved their bodies and showed expressions on their faces. After that, computers used that information to make cartoon like characters that moved and acted just like real people. This way of making movies gives everything a look that is somewhere between real life. This way of making movies gives everything a look that is somewhere between real life and animes. It looks different from regular cartoons, and it also looks different from regular live action movies where you see real human faces on screen. The most famous actor in this movie, the most famous actor in this movie is Jim Carrey. He is a very well-known and very funny actor who has been in many famous movies. But in this movie, he does not just play one character. He actually plays multiple characters. He plays the main character, a grumpy old man named Amazes Scotch, as well as all three of the ghosts that visit Scotch during the story. This is a very impressive thing to do, and Jim Carrey worked very hard to bring all of these very different characters to life. The movie tells the story of one special night in the life of Avenger Scotch. On that night, which is Christmas, Eve Scotch is visited by four ghosts in total. The first ghost is his old business partner, a man named Jacob Marley, who has been dead for 11 years. Then come three more ghosts. The ghost of Christmas part, the ghost of Christmas present, and the ghost of Christmas yet to come. Each ghost makes Scotch on a journey. Together, these journeys help Scotch change for the man cold and selfish man into a kind, generous, and loving person. Second, the original story and Charles Dickens. To really understand the 2009 movie, it helps a lot to know a little, but the original story, it is based on Charles Dickens was a very famous English writer who lived from 1812 to 1870. He wrote many important and beloved books during his lifetime. Some of his most famous works include Over Twist, David Copperfield, Great Expectations, and A Tale of Two Cities. But perhaps none of his stories is as well known and as widely loved as A Christmas Carol, even though it is one of his shorter works. Charles Dickens wrote A Christmas Carol in the year 1843. At that time, he was going through some hard times with money, and he was deeply troubled by what he saw happening to poor people in England, especially poor children. He wanted to write something that would make people think more about the poor and would earn some money. He managed to do both of those things at once with A Christmas Carol. Over the years since 1843, A Christmas Carol has been turned into hundreds of different versions. There have been stage plays, bands, operas, radio shows, television specials, and many movies. Some famous versions include a 1951 black and white British films, a 1984 television movie starring Bercy Scott, a 1988 movie called Scott that is set in Madron, New York, and stars Bill Murray, a 1992 animated version called The Muppet Christmas Carol, featuring Kermit the Frog and Miss Peggy alongside natural scenes and many more. The 2009 version with Jim Carrey is one of the biggest and most visually impressive versions ever made. Third, the main characters of the movie, Ebenezer Scrooge. Ebenezer Scrooge is the main character of the story. The Jim Carrey plays him. Scrooge is an old man. He is then with bony hands and a pale face. He walks hunched over and wears dark, heavy clothes. Even when he is indoors, his nose is long and his ears are sharp. He has white hair and a grim look on his face almost of all of the time. He is the kind of person who does not smile, does not laugh, and does not share anything with anyone. At the start of movie, Scrooge is one of the most unpleasant people you could ever imagine meeting. He is gritty with his money. He hates spending even the smallest amount on himself or on anyone else. His office is good because he will not spend money on hitting it properly. His house is dark and gloomy because he will not spend money on candles or lamps. He eats very little food because he does not want to spend money on a good meal. He lives like a person who has nothing, even though he is actually very rich. Scrooge is also deeply unkind to the people around him. He is rude to strangers. He is good to his own nephew, whose name is Fred. Fred is a careful and loving young man who visits his uncle very Christmas to invite him to dinner. And every year Scrooge turns him away with harsh words. Scrooge also treats his employee, a gentleman named Bob Cratchit, very badly. He plays Bob very little money. He will not let Bob keep the office warm, and he even tries to around giving Bob the day off on Christmas Day itself. But underneath all of this goodness and cruelty, there is a story of sadness. Scrooge was not always like this. When he was young, he knew how to love and how to be happy. Something happened to him over the years that made him lose his hurts. The three gods help us understand what happened to him and why he becomes the man he is. And in the end, we see that the warmth and kindness that were once inside him never fully disappeared. They were just hidden, waiting to come back out. Bob Cratchit. Bob Cratchit is Scott's only employee. He works in Scott's counting house. He works in Scott's counting house, which he is a kind of small business office where money matters are handled. Bob is a thin, gentle, quietly careful man. He wears a long white scarf around his neck because the office is always so good. He sits on a high stool at a writing desk and works very hard all day long, copying letters and doing some with numbers. Despite how poorly Scrooge treats him, Bob Cratchit is not a bitter or angry man. He is simply grateful of what little he has and he loves his family. With all of his hurts, Bob has a wife, Amaris Cratchit, and survival children. One of his children is a very special boy named Tiny Tim. Bob carries Tiny Tim on his shoulders when they walk together because Tiny Tim has trouble walking on his own due to a sickness. Even so, Tiny Tim is one of the happiest and most loving children in the whole story. The Cratchit family is very poor. They do not have much food. They do not have warm clothes, and they do not have a comfortable house. But they are full of love for each other. And on Christmas Day, they make the most of what they have. sense where the wretched family sits down to their small Christmas dinner is one of the most cheering moments in the in pre movie. It shows clearly what the story is really about, that love and family matter far more than money. Freight Scott's network. Freight is Scott's network, the son of Scott's sister Fan, who passed away some years before the story makes place. Fred is played by Colin First in the movie. Fred is everything that Scrooge is not. He is warm, jolly, funny, generous, and full of love for everyone around him. He is deeply fond of his uncle, even though his uncle treats him badly year after year. Fred generally wishes Scrooge well and truly believes that there is still goodness inside the old man. Fred is married to a loyal woman, and he has a group of friends who come to his house on Christmas Eve for party. The party is full of laughter, games, music, and good cheer. When the ghost of Christmas present takes Scrooge to see this party, Scrooge stands invisible in the corner and wishes. He cannot help but he drawn in. He starts to walk along with the jokes and enjoy himself without even meaning to. This scene shows that Scrooge still has the ability to feel happiness even if he has forgotten it for a even long time. Jacob marries Ghost. Jacob merely was Scott's business partner for many years. The two men were very much alike, both greedy, both good, the both in- interested only in making money. But mainly died even years before the story begins on the night of Christmas Eve. Beverly Ghost appears to Scrooge. The ghost is frightening sight. He is wrapped in heavy chains and attached to those chains are all kinds of things related to money and business. Cash box, key, bad luck, lacquer, and dates. These giants represent all of the greed and selfishness that merely occurred in his life. Mowgli's ghost is full of regret and sorrow. He tells Scrooge that in life he was wrong to care only about money. He warns Scrooge that Scrooge is on the same path and that if Scrooge does not change, he will end up the same way, waging the earth in chains forever, about death, unable to rest and unable to find any peace. Murray tells Scrooge that three spirits will visit him that night, and that Scrooge must listen to them and learn from them. This is the ghost's gifts to his old partner, a chance to change before it is too late.